Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H.
It doesn't matter what you losers say. You can say anything you want. It still doesn't take away the fact that Chelsea are the 2012 Champions League winners, and Chelsea are 50% Premier League winners. So let's just start with that. Chelsea are 50% Premier League winners because that trophy is half ours. So Liverpool have 50% of the trophy. Chelsea have the other 50% because Chelsea effectively won the Premier League by what they did against Man City. So let's just start there. I need an explanation. This is a question I need. So, Francis, you're trying to tell me that Ross Barkley, an English dude from the road, because he's English, he plays the number 10 creative position. And the Brazilian in your team, the naturalized Brazilian in your team, you're using him effectively as a pace merchant. Because what shocks me is that these managers are paid thousands upon thousands to make these decisions. Why the hell do you have your Brazilian? Did you see the free kick? Okay, I know we want to talk about West Ham. I want to talk about West Ham. All this West Ham, like guys, let's just keep it real. Did you see that free kick that Olusegun William did? Did you see that free kick? That freak, Messi has never scored a free kick like that. He's never. Hence why I put the whole thing of William better than Messi, because at the point William was better than Messi. Messi has never scored. He's never scored a free kick like that. Clipped the bar, went through. Never. He's never done so. How is a guy of that quality right wing? Why is he right wing? Why is he right wing? For what reason? Why? And the guy that is playing the position that he should be playing, number 10, is a dude from the road called Ross Barkley. From the road. And if it's not Ross Barkley, guess who it is? It's a fetus. A guy who still walks around with an umbilical cord called Mason Mount. Just think about it. Chelsea are a team trying to go for a treble. They're trying to deliver Bayern Munich at the Allianz. And the choice of number 10s are Ross Barkley and Mason Mount. That's messed up. That's messed up. That's disgusting. That makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. It makes no sense whatsoever. This is bad. This is bad. I mean, we'll break down the game and everything, but based on the results, this is bad. This is a relegation side. This is a side fighting relegation, and people were wondering, and that's why for Villa and so forth, they're like, wait, what? You gave away a W? Chelsea gave away a W. So this is bad because it's one thing to drop points, because a draw would be bad. Based on who West Ham are, based on what Chelsea have been doing, based on what Chelsea did to Man City, based on what Chelsea are about, a draw would almost be as bad as a loss. But an actual L, holding an actual L is messed up. So let me just put out all of my grievances to begin with. We're gonna have a conversation about Tammy Abraham. I'm ready to have that conversation. He's still a better footballer player technically than Haaland. I will still hold on to that. I'll still say Haaland is is a brainless football player, but a very good goal scorer. But we need to have a discussion about Tammy Abraham. That's the first thing. Pulisic is damn good. Pulisic is damn good. The defense needs some work. I need someone to tell me what Marcos Alonso does. I will not proceed with this stream until someone answers me that. I will not proceed. That's where we stop. I need someone to tell me, what does Marcos Alonso do? What does Marcos Alonso contribute? What does he do? Because I'm telling you right now, I watched this game, watched previous games. I don't know what he does. He can't cross. He can't dribble. He can't tap. So it's almost put Emerson in there. At least Emerson does something. Alonso, if this guy doesn't score a goal, and I can't remember last time he scored a goal, if he doesn't score a goal, he does nothing. That's basically, it's why he's got a PhD. It's why this dude has a PhD, because you see, Nyong is one of the worst players I've ever seen in my life. I still hold that Mbai Nyong is the worst football player that my eyes have ever laid upon. But he's not useless. He's just crap. Alonso is useless. So Chelsea basically this game doesn't count. This game doesn't count because Chelsea were playing with 10 men. So no, I don't. This loss, I don't accept this loss. Forget what the table says. This loss doesn't exist because Chelsea were playing with 10 men. So Chelsea were playing with a handicap. They're playing with a handicap. So no, this loss doesn't mean anything because Chelsea were playing with 10 men, but we didn't have a man sent off. Because if Alonso is in a team, it's 10 men. Because this dude does nothing. He does not have a right foot. He can't put a cross into the ball. It's not even cross and inshallah. It's cross and break. You see, cross and inshallah is, eventually you will go through. His thing is cross and break. That's his MO. He comes through cross and break. This guy is garbage. This guy is garbage. I already talked about William. I said, "Wait, William, put him in the middle. That's how we go." Add a clown. Add a complete. I told you guys. I'm going to quit Twitter very soon. See, I only use Twitter just because I need to promote myself, get people out there, get conversations going, and just tell guys what I'm doing. But I actually stayed off the Twitter timeline. I'm going to start meeting guys. I'm going to start meeting guys on Twitter fast, like this. I saw Twitter. One of the best things that they invented was that mute button, because I had one stupid brainless clown who said, "Oh, Kante is useless. What does Kante bring in?" I'm like, bro, do you know the amount of interceptions he did? How he was running the midfield, the passes that he was making, the runs he was making, getting past guys. He was doing everything in this game. He was doing every single thing in this game. That's why him and Kovacic, those guys, those were basically him, Kovacic. You could argue with him, but were their best players. See. So, what class is Kepa in? Yeah, okay, fair enough. Rudiger is class C. Is that what you wanted? He's class C. We're going to put it in the papers. What class is Kepa in? I just want to know, what class is this dude in? What class is Kepa in? That's what I want to know right now. I want to know what class this dude is in, because, guys, I'm done with this dude. I'm completely done with this dude. What class is this dude in? So there you go. PhD. You can see that there? PhD. He's a flipping PhD. He's got a PhD. What class is Kepa in? Guys, Kepa is officially class B. He's officially class B. Kepa is officially class B. There is no way this guy is entering class C. So you see, so the updates is Rudiger is class C. Christensen is under review. Rudiger is class C. Kepa is class B. How is it you're a goalkeeper, you're a professional grown goalkeeper, And because there's some people in front of you, you can't be a man, grow some balls, move around them, and grab the ball like most professional goalkeepers can do. This dude is crap. I don't know. Wait, who is it? Is it Marina or whoever signed up on this dude needs they need to be someone needs to be reprimanded for signing off on the deal for a guy called Kepa Brikabalaga. Brikabalaga is crap. And this is my thing right now. This is what I'm saying right now. Chelsea cannot go into that second leg against Bayern Munich with Kepa in there because I still believe Chelsea will turn around that 3-0, 100%. The only way Chelsea can turn around that 3-0, beyond change the defense, ask UEFA for us to use Ziyech and Werner, Kepa can be used. I'm going to write to UEFA. I'm going to write to UEFA tonight. I'm going to send UEFA. I'm going to say, look, shut up. Just shut the hell up. I don't just shut up. Say, we want Ziyech and Werner in the team. I don't give a damn about your dumbass rules. This is about the CL. We want Werner and Ziyech in the team, and we're bringing in a new goalkeeper. And this is my demand. Chelsea, we refuse to step onto that pitch until we are allowed to sign a new keeper. That's the ultimatum. Chelsea will not play that game until they have a new goalkeeper. That's the ultimatum, and you can do it. I'm sorry. So we'll bring the game into we will riot, and we will protest, and we will hold the game into disrepute until we are allowed to use Werner, Ziyech, and to sign a new goalkeeper. Chelsea will not set foot on that pitch in the Allianz Arena with a guy called Kepa Brikabalaga in there. But look, well done to West Ham. Well done to West Ham. They played defensively. They were quality, well organized. Moyes did his thing. He did his thing 100%. So you can't hate on what West Ham did. They came, they did their thing, they got the dub. I'm not going to hate. Well done. And that was a brutal counterattack. It was a brutal counterattack. You knew the guy was going bottom right. I've been a keeper before. You knew he was going bottom right. That's the best save you can do? Really? Look, it ain't great. It ain't great, but we're gonna ride, man. It ain't great, but we're gonna ride. So this is where things are right now. Also, Red Devil, I am not sending you an invite, bro. You are not coming onto this live stream, okay? So Red Devil, I will see you on Saturday, but there is no way I am getting your smug face on this whole thing. And as for Yasser Said and Just Bestin, screw you guys, man. Screw you guys. So this is where things are at right now. And okay, this is where things are right now. So, oops. First of all, this is a lie, actually. United don't have 52 points. Told you, mathematics is overrated. I am going to personally check all the results for United. They don't have 52 points. That's a lie. That's a lie. They don't have 52 points. But let's just go with this fake table. Things are getting tight. So let's see how 55 points. 1 point behind is Chelsea. 2 points behind are both United and Wolves. Arsenal, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen for them. They're 8 points behind. So I don't think they're really going to be popping up front. Although if Tottenham can say what's up, they're on 48 points. On 48 points, maybe they can be lurking in and around. So how much did Arsenal win? So Arsenal won 4-0. Oh, impressive. It's getting tight. And who are Chelsea's next game against? So the next game is against Watford. So Saturday against Watford. Oh, freak. Then Palace away, United away. And let me guess, who do United have? Who do these guys have? Give me a break. You see, you know what? Nah. This is what you call a fix. So of all the teams they have, they've got Bournemouth, Villa. This is complete bogus. This is complete and utter bogus. These fixtures are alive. United have paid someone. So Just Bestin And Red Devil and all you on the other side, how much did you pay FA for those fixtures? How much did you pay them? Because look, see, this is my fear. And I'm gonna put this out there. My fear and my nightmare is Chelsea finish fifth. Or they either finish fifth or sixth and they actually miss out on the Champions League. That's my fear, because that would look really awkward with Timo Werner and people going in. And I just you can't beat West Ham. And wait. See, now. So did West Ham beat Chelsea twice this season? That doesn't make any sense. So you're telling me that a team fighting for relegation did the double over Chelsea? What's going on? Because my fear is Chelsea, whenever they face these sideshow teams, don't really know how to say what's up. So whether it's a Palace or a Warsaw, they don't really know how to say what's up, man. All right, let's see what some of you losers are saying, man. But look, shout out to Arsenal, man, getting the 4-0 win. Actually, who even scored for Arsenal in their game? Ross Barkley. No, it's like, how does a guy like that get games? Oh, Aubameyang 2 goals, Cedric Suarez and Xhaka. All right, let's see what you guys are saying, man. From Just Persons, HH, you have Liverpool to play. Laugh my ass off. Beston, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, Just Beston. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. From Aiden, you look like Kante's dad. Sorry, not sorry. So I'm Kante's dad. Why? Because I'm black and bald. Surely Kante's dad must be what's it called? Must be light skinned. No, sorry, must be dark skinned. I'm sort of brown skinned. So but I still don't understand how that dude gets goals. So let me look at these super chats here. So wait, who's this from? So from I'm not sure who this guy is. Tammy under review. Let me think about that. I'm not sure whether I'm ready to put Tammy on the review. But again, thank you for the super chats there, because for some reason I can't see your name. Yeah, why can't I see this dude's name? Oh, sorry. Oh, that's from Daniel Henkel. So Daniel Henkel says Tammy on the review. I'll talk about Tammy. As I said, we're going to have a dialogue. We're going to have a dialogue about Tammy. From Miles A, thank you for the super chat. West Ham did the double over Chelsea. Love to see it. Well, I need to first check. I don't believe that they did, because I can't remember what the results was against Stamford Bridge. So let me check what the results was at Stamford Bridge, then I'll see whether they did the double over them. But I doubt that. From Just Beston, LL, we have Bournemouth and Villa next. Top 4 is ours. Beston, relax. All I'm saying is relax. Red Devil Studio, my good friend, rather brick level, lead level studio. So lead level studio says FA Cup semi-circumcision incoming. Top 4 is ours. We'll see about that. Last year, Laid says Chelsea beats City, lose to West Ham. LOL. Last year, side again says HH United are coming. Be afraid. We'll see about that. Brand K002 says HH. Pep did juju to Chelsea for revenge. He probably did. Lep probably did do that revenge over him. Last year, Laid says Chelsea's last game is Wolves. You don't have to remind me. Again, it's not looking good. From last year, Laid again says Chelsea playing Watford Saturday, another team fighting for the title, and United are playing Newcastle. I love this game. Last year, Laid, thank you very much for your support. From Adetunji, they had 3 shots on target, 3 goals. It's messed up. I know it's messed up. From Andrew Laurie. All right, I think I can probably bring this up. From Andrew Laurie says Liverpool should help Chelsea out when we play them. And it's very and okay, before I get to Tammy, first of all, Liverpool, you owe Chelsea. You owe Chelsea. No one cares about you breaking any records. No one cares. No one cares. No one cares. You've won the title. You have the trophy. The fairest thing that Klopp can do, play your C team. Let Chelsea get that win. If Liverpool play their first team, their best team, haven't already won the Premier League, that is unsportsmanship. That is unsportsmanlike, and I will have a much lower view of Liverpool Football Club. If you are this great club that you claim to be, show how thankful you are that we won you that trophy. Bring in your C team. So, guys, people want to talk about Tammy Abraham. Now, look, I'm ready to have a dialogue about Tammy Abraham. I'm ready to have a dialogue about Tammy Abraham. I will not induct him. I will not induct him. But I'm happy to put him on the review. And I'll be real with you. In my mind, I was saying, you know what? It's just not working out for this dude in this game. And I do fear that his position as a starting striker for Chelsea is coming under threat. I think that it is coming on under threat. You see, this is the thing that I just don't understand. How are you able to beat Man City, but you can't beat West Ham? I need to understand this. But the thing that annoys me the most, do you know what really annoys me the most? The thing that just drives me crazy is Lampard. And see, this is just what I'm getting into. What reason do you have to play Ross Barkley? Because I truly believe that Ross Barkley only plays because he's English. I swear to you, if Ross Barkley was Slovenian, my gosh, let's run. If he was German, there is no way he gets this much game time. There's no way. Because Lampard feels that I have to have English representation in this team. And that's how he feels. Like, no, I must have English representation in this team. That's why he gives Tammy maybe a few more minutes than he maybe should. What the heck is Mount doing in this team? He isn't cut for this level. He is not cut for this level. Same thing with your boy. Ross Barkley is an Everton player. He is a mid-table player. It is so clear. Put him in Everton, put him in Crystal Palace, he will feel right at home. He'll be one of the best players in there. But for a Champions League caliber, I dare Lampard. You know what? I don't know whether I should say this because he's already best. I dare Lampard to start either Barkley or Mount at the Alliance. I dare him. I dare him to start any of those two at the Alliance. But the thing that I just don't get and understand is that is such an important position. This team is lacking creativity and someone with imagination. You have a Brazilian. You have a guy who is not only Brazilian, he's a Brazilian international. But you're putting him and playing him right wing. And the guy you're playing number 10 are Ross Barkley and flipping Mason Mount. So in your view, Lampard, you believe that? So you truly believe? You're trying to tell me that Ross Barkley and Mason Mount are better players for that number 10 position than a Brazilian international. That's what you're saying. Because in that right wing position, all you're saying willing to do is just to run and cross. Willian, a guy who just did what he did with the free kick. Because I think this is the thing that even Daniel even said is that, wait a minute, look at the kind of goals that this guy can score. Look at his individuality. Either put him on the left as an inside forward or make him a free roll number 10. How is Ross Barkley? So in the same team, Ross Barkley and Mason Mount are number 10s, but Willian is a right winger. I mean, see, Lampard, I gave you kudos. I gave you kudos for that win against Manchester. You deserved it. You deserved it. But I'm sorry, I've got to call you up again because that setup is trash. Because I need an explanation. Please, some of you guys in live chat, please give me an explanation. From Shegun, yo, HH, Danny T asking to come on. Oh, he wants to come on. All right. Let me bring him in, man. Let me bring him in. Oh gosh, this is gonna get nasty. Let me bring him in. All right, let me bring the boy in. It was probably him that even sent me a massage. So let's just try and break this whole thing down. All right. All right, let me send him a thingy. All right, boom. So hopefully Danny T will comment so we can rant and rave, man. Red Devil, bro, this has not been discussed on the Saturday Hangout. Okay, and I'm gonna have to review whether you should be in the. This topic is not being. This is the only time we are gracing this topic, and let me tell you guys this right now because guys, I've got the mic. I rule and I say what happens here. If Chelsea don't beat Watford, there is no Saturday Hangout, and that's how it is. Yes, I'm childish. Call me unprofessional. I don't give it that. First of all, there shouldn't even be this stream. But if Chelsea don't beat Watford, I can't do a Saturday Hangout. There's not happening, man. It's not happening. It's not happening. But look, things are tense. Things are tense. You had the chance to go third. You had the chance to go third and to have a 5-point gap between yourselves and Man United. All you had to do was just to defeat West Ham. All you had to do was beat West Ham. A team that has a dude called Cresswell. You see, you know how people say, pace and power. Mikel Antonio is the literal embodiment of pace and power. Now, so for me, I'm happy to call him pace and power. Similar to Haaland, pace and power. How do you allow Mikel Antonio to score? Not only that, Chelsea, you conceded the same exact goal twice from the corner. And I've always said that, look, the best defender that Chelsea have is Kurt Zouma. So why are you doing Christensen and Rudiger? For me, the partnership should be Christensen and Zouma. So I don't know how Lampard can realize, you know what, Rudiger ain't it. Rudiger ain't it, man. It's just what I want to the. No. It's still like, you see. I'm sorry, guys. This lost. You can't you can't do that. You can't do that. This loss does not negate. It does not negate how we said what's up to Man City. Hell no. You guys, you can't do that. You can't do that. Like, that is still one of the greatest victories of all time. One of the greatest victories of all time, and you cannot do that. That victory against Man City is historic. But the issue right now is we just need to sort this whole thing out. Okay. Sent link. The heck? Okay, I've sent the link. All right. I'm just telling your boy a thing that there he is. Okay. Before you go, let's just a few things. Okay, let me just ask you a few things. Let me just ask you a few things here, and I need like a response here.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me the rationale of playing Ross Barkley and Mason Mount in the number 10 creative position over a guy who is a Brazilian international? And that said Brazilian international is playing on the right wing and just told to cross on inshallah and just be a pace merchant. Can you just please explain the rationale, please? Thank you.
Do you want me to give you the Lampard answer, or do you want me to give you the actual answer?
Both answers.
The actual answer is how real are we getting today?
Extremely real. Extremely real.
They're
Extremely real.
English. It's I think there's a quota in the team. It seems that way. But if you asked Lampard the actual answer, I think he'd tell you something along the lines of, "There's nobody else in the team that's willing to work in the position that I want them to work like Willian will. So I'll put him on the right, sacrifice his game, and then I'll put everybody else where they need to go." It doesn't make sense, but that's the footballing answer, I would presume. Is that, Willian, I know if I plug him in on the right, he'll do exactly what I want. He's just there to run. He's not there to make plays or anything. Because if he was, you would see that, his best move is that little shift movement that he does and puts the ball in his right foot. If that's the case, and we live in an era of inverted wingers, you would play him on the left because Hazard isn't here anymore. But you just want him there to run. Sarri wanted him there to run. Mourinho wanted him there to run. Conte wanted him there to run.
And also as well, remember, Pulisic began on the right for Dortmund. Mm-hmm. So he can't play there. Even if he's done well in left, he can't play the ball. As you said, his MO, his thing is shift, boom, right, hit. Shift, boom, right, hit. That's his thing.
Do you know the amount of times he did that today and he was on the right-hand side? And if you're right-footed and you make that shift onto your right foot, all you see is a white line. It's just a white line. And there's nobody to cross to. Tammy had an awful game. Giroud, he was in and around it, but he wasn't really doing anything. But there was nobody to cross to. So you do it, and it's passed to Azpilicueta, who passes it back, and then it finds its way to Kante or Kovacic or whomever in midfield. Personally, I would play him on the left. I've always wanted him on the left, but managers just they look at the physical attributes. If you look up on Daily Mail or something like that, one of Willian's quotes is that every day his dad told him that he wants to kill a lion. That's his philosophy, which means that he's really willing to work. I don't know, but yeah, it's one of the most annoying, peculiar things that Chelsea Football Club does. And every time I look at it, it annoys me. What the key thing is, or the interesting thing is, whenever Willian finds his way onto the left, he stays there. Because he's like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. It's just like, bro, you're supposed to be on the other side doing all this tracking back. But when he finds himself on the left, he lingers in that position. So it's sad, man. Have you talked about Kepa yet?
Well, all I've said is this, because I needed to comment together. What I've said about Kepa is he was Class C. He's been bumped up to Class B right now.
Only.
And arguably Class A. And also, I refuse for Chelsea to take the pitch against Bayern Munich with Kepa in goal. I refuse Chelsea to take the pitch against Man United in an FA Cup semi. I believe that before Watford on Saturday, Chelsea needs to find a new goalkeeper because one of the basics of a keeper again is being confident when you come from corners. That's the thing of where because again, okay, I didn't play every position, but when I played keeper, the whole thing is mine. Boom, claim. You shout, you're strong, you're forceful, and it's two things. Either you're coming out to punch or you're coming out to grab. You don't come out then go back in. If you're coming out, especially in the corner kick, you're coming out to do two things. Punch, catch. Either one of those two when you're coming out. And the thing about this is that, and also, we can't use the whole size thing. I saw, we've seen Julio Cesar. We've seen Casillas. Mm-hmm. They were small, but they were so forceful and demanding whenever they were supposed to come out. And there is such little confidence you have. And that's the key thing. When you know that your keeper isn't very confident and is shaky, it makes those central defenders shaky as well. So it makes basically the entire defensive setup psychologically for Chelsea is a mess.
Who would be your center back partnership? Because for me, I've railed against the signing of Kepa for so long that picking on him almost feels like bullying at this point. It's just like he's like a sibling that always makes mistakes. It's just like, okay, yeah, you can pick on him for the 10,000th time if you want to, but it's not constructive for me at this point. Maybe all of you guys are just realizing where I was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, but for me, it's just like, so who would your center back partnership be? And just in order to prevent Kepa even being a problem, what you would need to do is fix the four in front of him. Maybe that would help him, because you don't spend 72 million on a goalkeeper and ship him after a year. That would make the club look bad. So it's a political statement at this point. But yeah, so who would your two be? Because I've seen people say Rudiger's the problem. I'm seeing people say Christensen is the problem. Zuma's in and out. I don't know where Tomori is. Tomori had a few good games at the beginning of the season, but I guess he's been injured, or, the senior players are kind of like, hey, like, how come we aren't playing? So who would your two be in front of the goal?
So is this if everyone is fit?
Mm-hmm.
Or if everyone is fit, Zuma and Tomori? Based on how they played. Obviously, I was thinking Zuma and Christensen. But
Christensen's looking funny, man. He's looking funny in the light, man.
Yeah, it's like, but for me, I would still say Zuma and Tomori, because for me, Zuma is Chelsea's best central defender.
Mm-hmm.
He's the best. So really,
he's the best pure defender. He's the best pure defender. For me, you would need somebody, though, that, because they sold David Luiz and there's no ball playing center back, and if you want to play from the back, you need somebody who you trust on the ball. I'm not sure Zuma's that guy. So then you look at, I think Zuma should be in the team for his defensive prowess, but who else do you play alongside him? And Tomori, I don't know. I would need to see more of Tomori on the ball. Does he have the ability to distribute? I'm not sure. So then you have to choose between Rudiger and Christensen. And for me, I think I would go with Rudiger, because at least he gives you the athletic ability that Christensen doesn't. So on the first goal that they scored, I believe, was the Antonio goal, was it? No, that was the second goal. It was the second goal. The Antonio goal. He falls down. Christensen looks back at him, but I guess it doesn't register in his brain that, okay, this guy's going to get up and he's going to be behind me. By the time that the ball comes in, it's too late. So I'm just looking at that. Like, why did you switch off? Like, I can't really blame Azpilicueta because there was another man behind, so he had to be at the far post. But Christensen, what are you doing? And everybody's like, oh, he's the most intelligent, this and that. We know what that is. But,
yeah.
But it's I mean, you don't have to be so obvious, Double H.
My thing is, you have to blame Lampard a bit as well. You never decide on your central defensive partnership
and don't change it
and keep with it, because then they'll grow. You've changed it almost from game to game to game. So, and also look, it's almost the central the defense is about. It's not really about tackling. It's about the reading of the game, and it's about communication. So it is very key that this guy, I know this, because again, your central defense partner, you know his strengths, you know his weaknesses, which is why what they always say is a great central defense partnership is a guy who is physical and a guy who is athletic or ball playing. So have a ball playing central defender and a much more old school ball playing defender. So then they complement each other. So it's like, I know what you're stronger. Okay, I know. So I know that you won't be able to get it for speed. I've got you covered. Okay, I know that you may not read as well as this. You may not be as tough. Okay, I've got you. So then you work both of your qualities, because you need those two qualities, which is why the Varane and Sergio Ramos thing works so well, because Ramos is very good at reading the game. Varane is very, very fast. So they both can complement each other very well. So, and then you then learn from one another and you form a basis and an understanding. But if you keep on changing all the time, all the time, you will have miscommunication, because you're like, wait. So what are you good at again? Like, what's your okay? Wait, what are you? Because if you keep changing, like, yeah. So let me, because we played again. So we played with each other about 5 games ago. So what is it that you do? So it's mad. So he had to stick with the defensive partnership and only break it if there's an injury or if they were really bad. If they were really bad, then okay, I'm frustrated. But really, even if they're bad, it's like, okay, you will learn. Training ground, let's learn. But this, I've looked it through. I've made my decision. You are everyone is fit. You are our starting defensive pair. We go through.
Can the people in the comments tell me if top 5 is still Champions League? Like, have we decided if you reach 5th, then you're in the Champions League because of what's happening with Man City, right? So maybe the people in the comments can say. But do you think like, yo, I don't know if you've looked at the schedules already or whatnot, but
Oh yeah,
United are looking kind of
bro.
like it's pretty easy until they play
it's
Chelsea,
looking.
and I forget who their last game is against, but that one's not easy. But the rest of them, they look kind of difficult, or rather, they look easy. Yeah, Bournemouth, Villa, Southampton, Palace, West Ham. I mean, those last two games are going to be probably difficult, you would think, but those 5 in between, they should be. I mean,
So is this FA Cup or league?
FA Cup. That's FA Cup.
Okay.
So yeah, the last 2, 4, 6 games, they look kind of simple, man.
And then you see.
Watford. I mean, actually, Wolves, Liverpool. I mean, it's not that bad. But I mean, if you're losing to West Ham, I mean, nobody would have thought West Ham was a
when
bad
you're losing
game.
to West Ham, it is bad. It is bad. When you're losing to West Ham, it is bad, man.
I just don't understand Lampard's thinking, bro. Like I wish I did. Like I wish he came out and was like, okay, this is the reason why I've decided to play Barkley and Kovacic together. Right? It's
no. Okay. So you believe
yes.
it is just they're English and then he wants them to play because he needs English representation.
I mean,
if that is true, that is true, it's crazy because you're jeopardizing the team.
Well, Double H, I don't think he sees it like that. What I mean by the fact that they're English is I think it's easier for him to press play on them. You know, if you have like if somebody tells you to listen to a good album and it's in a genre you don't necessarily like, just like listen to it. But no, you're more likely to click play on something that you like already. So it's not. I don't know if he's like, oh, they're English, let me do it. It's just like, yo, I like this player, I like that player. Probably can't even tell you why. But I like Barkley, I like Mount, I like these kinds of players. Why? Because they probably remind him of himself. Something like that, you know. But yeah, it's the idea that if the plan was we're going to take Conte from one of the two in the advanced midfield positions and we're going to play him deeper, at least play people who can score goals in the other slot that you've opened up. Like you put in Kovacic, who scored 1 or 2 goals in the last 3-4 years, something like that. And then Barkley. I mean, Barkley's had a little bit of a revival in his career of late, or in the last, few months or weeks or whatever it is. But he's still, and in your terms, he's still essentially a brick. So if you have Loftus-Cheek and he played the first game that you played, he didn't play that well. But if you have him, play him. I mean, you brought him on to rescue you, which means you must think he has some quality. Keep playing him. Like you've opened up the space since Conte's gone. Play him. Or Jorginho's there on the bench. Advance Conte. I'd rather have Conte in advanced positions than Kovacic.
Okay, so do you believe this? Barkley's a brick, yes, but Mount is a class number 8. Okay. Look, while you say this is my thing about Mount. He is talented. He isn't up to this level. He would look really good in like a 5th, 6th, 7th place team. But for this level, I don't think Mount can cut it.
You see,
for what is needed in that position of a team that is trying to compete for the title, trying to compete for trophies and the Champions League, I just don't think he's of this level.
This is the interesting thing. It's interesting which players get the chance to succeed, or at least the chance to advance their careers. So if you look at a player like, what's a good example that Chelsea have had recently? Bakayoko. Bakayoko showed promise and talent at Monaco. He got to the semifinals of a Champions League. He won the league with Ligue 1 with Monaco.
Okay.
And Chelsea bought him for 40 million. He played 1 season. He was trash. They sent him on loan to Milan, and he's back in loan at Monaco, ironically enough. He got a handful of games to prove himself. Like, he came injured. He played against Spurs that one time, and like basically we've never seen him again. Even though he had a decent loan spell at Milan, he never got seen again. But it's interesting that, okay, a player like that who showed promise, was proven on an international, maybe not international, but a continental level, got maybe a season to prove himself, and he was already discarded. Someone like Mount, on the other hand, who had an okay campaign with Vitesse in the Dutch league, an okay campaign with Derby 2 seasons ago or last season, he comes in and he's playing, I think, around 40 games already this season. So he's being given the opportunity to build and establish a career at Chelsea, which is interesting to me because not every player gets that opportunity. And it's interesting the players that do get that opportunity. Like, I don't know if it's more white English more than it is just he came from our academy. The same way you could make an argument that Tammy Abraham has had how many chances to fail? Meanwhile, Batshuayi can't even make a bench of 9 men, even though if you look at his goals per minute ratio, he has the best in the club. Over the minutes that he's played this season, he has more goals than Giroud this season, even though Giroud's played far more minutes.
That's why.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, it might be a bad example because just the names of these players just trigger things in people that they don't want to just take on board the point. But when you look at why are these players getting the chances that they get? It's always political. So if you look at Mount, why is he playing so much? Well, he has the backing of Mount. He has the backing of Lampard rather, because Mount played with Lampard in the Derby County season. It's that simple. He knows him. He likes him. He thinks he knows what he can do and what he can become. So he's offered the minutes to develop into
and also doing what managers love. Managers love I told you so. Managers love that. And it's something about managers that really annoy me is where, despite all the insults you throw at me, when this guy comes good, I was the one who backs them, played them, believed in them. Because see, we look at things from the outside in, but if you go inside into the locker room, you have friendships, you have alliances, you grow to be close to people, whether through trading or something. So you're like in this bubble and in this cocoon. And you try not to view all this kind of stuff. So in his mind, it's like, no. Doesn't matter. So almost as if you are viewing their performances differently. You're not viewing their performances with guys on Twitter or guys like that. So you're viewing the performances based on training. I know people like that. So you're like, oh, no, it's good. Go again. Oh, no, because I know what you're going to do because I know what you did in training. And because we're friends, we have a good rapport and everything, I'm always going to soften my criticism of you. Which is why I always said it is very important for any manager, don't get too friendly with players, because that can always compromise you, because you see, relationships are good because that is one of the key things that sort of Mourinho had, where guys were like, man, I'm ready to die for Mourinho. Conte as well, Simeone as well, where your manager is your friend, so you actually bring that whole friendship and that loyalty to the pitch. But you can't allow that to compromise you, where you must still be able to take a step back and be like, you're not playing well, you're out, yanked you, because this is about the betterment of this situation. Let me just bring this in, because I want to. So Roddy says, don't forget Oluwa Barkley is Nigerian. No, he's not. He's English. He's English. Nigeria are not claiming him. Hell no.
He's a little bit Nigerian. I mean, just
no. They're not claiming him, man. So actually, not. From Just Person says that way to fix Chelsea, sell Kante and what? Okay, actually,
he's an Arsenal fan, so he wants us to sell the best players to Arsenal. So I get it.
Okay, so wait. Where is this Kante slander coming from? Like, because I see it's creeping up and everything, and I want to know, like, how has it come through? Like, where is it coming from? What's the logic?
At the beginning of the season, Kante was injured. A lot of people started taking the numbers down of, hey, Chelsea beat Watford, Chelsea beat Norwich, Chelsea beat Puff FC with no Kante in the team. So obviously the team is better. And then if you look when he's in the team, Chelsea are losing. But when you actually investigate the numbers or actually investigate the losses, they played Arsenal, they played Liverpool, they played Manchester City, they played Tottenham. They played basically all the hard games. Kante came in, was injured maybe a game later. But then people would look at the stats and say, because Kante didn't play in easy games, the team was better off without him. So that's kind of where this sentiment came from. That, I think Chelsea could maybe sell X player being Kante and improve the squad later on. Also, it's the idea that Jorginho has become, I guess, a fan favorite. Kovacic as well. And if you have Kovacic and Jorginho in your team, people look at it and they're like, well, we don't have a number 8 or a quasi number 10. So Kante can't play that position. So you sacrifice him in favor of Kovacic and Jorginho, which, in my opinion, is stupid because he's basically both of those players in one. But yeah, that's where that idea came from. I don't know how popular it is because I don't think we should ever use Twitter as a barometer for the intelligence of the majority of people. So on Twitter, that might be a popular sentiment, but generally speaking, I'm pretty sure most Chelsea fans would take Kante in any shape or form. And if you saw the type of passes that he was playing today, I mean, the guy's just unreal. He had one pass that Tammy Abraham that I said, if Pogba did it, my timeline will be twerking, basically, because that's exactly what it is. So
Yeah, no, because I just think the thing about it is, like, I think it's a very psychological thing. I think people are able to compute he is that good a player because I think it's to do with what he looks like. Not even him just being black, just what he looks like. The way, because again, like someone like a Seedorf, just the way like Seedorf is like, oh yes, but just the way he looks like, how he carries himself, what he was known as. People are like, oh no, Kante is he's
that's you see it's the part that for being in Liverpool, Leicester City, and people just thought, oh, he's just a shuttler. He'll just go get the ball, give it to somebody who can do things, and that's basically his role. So for Leicester, he made tackles. He found Mahrez. That was basically his role. Mahrez then found Vardy. They won. He comes to Chelsea with Antonio Conte. He's playing alongside Fabregas or Matic, whichever one he decided. He gets the ball. He passes to a more offensive player, and that's his role. Then Sarri comes in, and he's like, wait a minute, I think this player can probably do more. And he puts him in a position, and fans are all of a sudden like, whoa, you're not supposed to be doing that. You're supposed to be doing this kind of workhorse work. You're not supposed to be doing this kind of fancy offensive brain work. What are you up to, N'Golo? So that's kind of where, like, once you see something established as something, when it tries to change itself, people have an adverse reaction to it. But at the end of the day, for what he's done for France, Leicester, Chelsea, he's a complete player. And how many bad games has Conte actually had that we can easily recall? Maybe you could say the World Cup final, and he was sick. That's why he only played an hour, and they pulled him off. He was so key to France. He had flu. They played him in a World Cup final, and we're like, look, just give us an hour of whatever you have. Yeah. It wasn't great, but they won the game. So that's basically the really only bad game we can find of this guy.
Yeah, no, but I think it's one of those things where, like, when you watch the game and you look at the amounts of interceptions, how he breaks the play, the passes that he makes, because it's almost as if like he can do everything. He can tackle, he can pass, he can make crossfield passes, he can make through balls, he can carry the ball, he can dribble. So what do you want me to do? I'll do it for you. So when you watch it, say, no, this guy.
Chelsea's goal, like the Willian penalty, came from Conte getting a tackle on the sideline. He dribbled forward, found Kovacic. Kovacic found Pulisic. Pulisic got tackled, penalty. Like, without Conte, the play doesn't start. It's simple, but people are like, oh, I haven't seen Conte make one forward pass. It's because you're watching the game like this whenever he gets the ball. Like, you're not watching.
Yeah, no,
because you don't want to watch.
So I just say, his game against Liverpool, that was a ridiculous game.
He had like 5 nutmegs.
Yeah, that was a ridiculous game. So people have been asking about Tammy. So what?
I put Tammy in the same boat as Mount. As I said earlier. But if I could land my point that I was getting to, you said I don't think Mount is at this level. Like, I do project Mount at this level. I just find it interesting that he's getting the opportunity to develop into a player at this level. Like, I feel like most other players would have been sent on loan to, I don't know, some lower club or something like that, and they would have gotten the opportunity to develop their skills and come back a more complete player. Mount isn't the complete player. And Chelsea always talk about, oh, when you're ready, when you're the finished article, you can come to Chelsea and be a part of the team. I guess because of the kind of transfer ban and all that kind of stuff, they've kind of relaxed on that idea. But I still even think, even if they were able to buy players, Mount would have still had over 30 appearances because Lampard just likes him. And that is what it is. But it's just peculiar that he's being given the opportunity to develop into the finished article at Chelsea, which is something that we haven't seen in probably 30 years since John Terry. And Tammy, kind of the same thing, where I guess the circumstances have dictated that he plays because you haven't been able to buy a striker. I mean, they got one in Timo Werner, but for the past 12 months, you haven't been able to buy anybody. So I guess we just go with Tammy and see what it is. I mean, and obviously he has the backing of, Jody Morris and those kinds of guys who have been at the club for years and years and have trained him since he was 8 years old. So they're like, look, we know Tammy. We love Tammy in that way. We want him to succeed at Chelsea, and they're going to give him every opportunity to fail. But it's just interesting, the players that do get the opportunity to fail and those that they fail once or twice. And, that's the signature on their departing papers. Like you have one bad game if you're Batshuayi or Bakayoko or, I don't know, just other players, Baba Rahman or Juan Cuadrado, or you could just go through down the list, and even Mohamed Salah or Kevin De Bruyne to an extent. Like some people just look at it like, you have one or two bad games, bye to Wolfsburg, bye to Roma, bye to Juventus, bye to wherever. But if you come from the academy, you can fail and you'll keep getting chances. But if you project them over the long term, those players will eventually end up becoming good players, I think. So go ahead.
You still believe in the Tammy long-term project of keeping faith with him, or do you think Chelsea just have to keep him in there, but really get a top striker? Then he has to be an understudy to a top striker, and Giroud
if Tammy wants to stay at Chelsea Football Club, I think eventually he's going to become a number two. Basically, he's going to become a guy that plays 40 minutes, 35 minutes every game. But he's not going to be the guy that you look to as like, this is our talisman in that sense. I don't think he's going to be the Aguero. He'll be more like Gabriel Jesus in that sense. But over, like, if you extend that metaphor to the breadth of his career. I think if the top striker goes down, you'll be able to plug in Tammy. But then you have to think about it like this. You're going to buy a player who can get you 10 to 15, or not buy, but how much would it cost to get you a player who could do what Tammy does and would accept it because he's a Chelsea guy, a Chelsea man? That would cost you, I don't know, 35, 40 million maybe?
What do you mean by what Tammy does? What do you mean?
What I mean is if you project what Tammy will be able to do in the next decade, and just accept it. He'll accept being on the bench probably because he's still at Chelsea. He's a Chelsea guy. He's been in the academy. How much would it cost to get you, I don't know, over the next 10 years, 10 goals? How much does 100 goals cost? From in today's market, you might have to pay 40 million to get you a striker that could do that. He came from the academy for basically nothing. Yeah. So if you're Chelsea, it's an incentive to develop this player because he doesn't cost anything. Yeah. You just nurtured him since when he was 8. Obviously, I guess, and you paid for his coaches and I don't know, his meals or whatever.
He hasn't signed a new contract. Sammy might leave.
You see, well, that's the interesting thing. Like that it's all dependent on how ambitious is Tammy Abraham the man. I mean, if anything, we know he's ambitious enough to want to play for England, which he had probably an easier path to go play for Nigeria. That would have been an easier in. Yeah. But he was nah. But man. Say again?
Osimhen, Victor Osimhen.
Yeah, he went to, was it Napoli?
Well, it's still up in there. Still up in there.
Yeah, but it's the idea that Tammy looked at Nigeria asking him to, hey, come start for us for an AFCON. And he was like, no, I want to play for England. So maybe that does show a little bit of his character in that way.
I just want to say, guys, since you're here, guys, like the vid. But guys, since you're here, talking tactics. I don't know whether some people still don't believe that that I do a podcast. So for guys, talking tactics is a podcast.
4 years, guys. 4 years. That's 48 months.
So yeah, we've been doing this for 4 years since 2016. It is the best podcast. We're doing it before podcasts were invented, man. It's the best podcast in the world. Remember, it drops every Tuesday.
Tuesday, Monday. When
Yeah,
it drops whenever you feel like listening to it, man.
yeah, actually, yeah. So basically, from Tuesday it drops. Basically, Spotify.
On YouTube, search Talking Tactics. You'll find Double H and I talking on there with our buddy Carl. If you want to look it up on like whatever podcasting app you listen to, like we're over there. So every week we give you at least an hour. We try not to make it all about Chelsea. we try.
It's we're trying why rigidity. We talk about racism
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff. So okay, so look, man. Let's just say four. Let's just say it's a top four thing. Forget about it. Let's just say it's a top four thing. With the way it's looking, do you still believe Chelsea make top four? See, now my thing about this is Leicester City, I think, are in a bit of a they're in a bit of a rot right now.
A slump, yeah.
Slump. They're in a bit of a slump right now.
I think they have 2 points since the break.
Yeah, it wouldn't be beyond the realm of
Possibility.
to be like third and fourth is occupied by United and Chelsea. But do you believe that Chelsea will still secure the top four? Because it's worrying. When I look at those fixtures, especially the last few fixtures as well, it is worrying because I said again, like the Liverpool fixture, you would think that, they've already won the league. It's cool. Liverpool are going for the record. And Liverpool wants the record. So they're looking to be like, nah. We want to be truly historic. Which, again, is like, I do not want them to, but they want to be historic. So top four, the way that it's looking, because it's looking tight. And United are looking good. No injuries. They have all their guys back. And it's like smooth sailing for them from now to the end of the season.
Obviously, we know the top 2 slots are probably done for.
Wait. The guest is good. The super chats is for. So yeah, but basically, I owe you like what's it called? 4 ZARs.
Do I get the cash? What is ZAR? What currency is that?
That looks like Zimbabwe.
So basically, he's giving us a penny.
Zimbabwe or Zambia.
Whatever 14 of is in Zimbabwe, that's like less than a penny, bro.
Look, I'm just guessing. I don't know. I'll just guessing. But
man, put it in the comments. What is ZAR currency?
ZAR,
I'm curious about that. But anyway, the top 2 slots are gone, obviously. But then again, it's the idea of who knows what's going to happen with Man City, bro.
Oh no, wait. Please, don't let me forget. I want to have a discussion about this to Alonso. Please.
I won't.
So don't forget, Karen, go for it.
So does 3 go into 2? No, it doesn't. So somebody's going to be on the outside looking in. So I'm trying to think because I know people are going to use this against me. So I normally project Chelsea to get nothing. That way, if they get something, it makes me feel better, and I don't feel like I've set the team up to fail. South African Rands. Okay, shout out to South Africa, man.
South Africa.
Julius Malema. The EFF.
Yeah. I was about to say something, but people may just view it in a different place.
Leave Mandela alone, bro.
No, I was not gonna say about. I was just saying about the whole racial. Look, just go. Just
okay. Yes. I think on the podcast I said Leicester weren't gonna screw up, but I didn't know what the table looked like, and then they just lost again today. So the way United are looking, I think United get 3rd because they just look smooth. I don't know what it is, but I know what it is. Yeah. Pogba's back, and Bruno's a hell of a footballer. So them together just look really good. So yeah, I think Chelsea will get 4th place. But even if they get 5th, like I say, if Man City can't play in Champions League, then you kind of get gifted another chance. So there you go. That's now Alonso. We want to talk about Alonso?
Okay. Before we do that, I think Pulisic could be the real deal. So let's just keep Alonso in your mind. Mm-hmm. Bro, Pulisic is really good, man. And the thing about it is that I want to know, Pulisic, that's Eastern European, isn't it?
Yes, it should be Pulisic, but they don't guide the itch because they don't put the little.
No. Yeah, because I thought it was, but I think they even actually interviewed him, and he said that, I like it's pronounced Pulisic, so it's his name. So if he says that's how you pronounce it, okay, it's cool. But no. See,
I don't know if he's second generation though. He might be. I'll look it up while you talk.
Yeah. So basically, what I like about him is just the risks he takes when he has the ball.
Hmm.
As opposed to that loser Alonso, who we'll talk about. Every time he has the ball, it's like he's trying to do something imaginative and creative with the ball. And I always say that he doesn't go in straight lines; he goes in diagonals, and he's trying to break the lines, trying to go through the tight spaces. And it's like, which is why I just say, like, America have never had a player like him. Like, I don't care about the stats of Clint Dempsey and all this kind of stuff. They've never had a player like him of his kind of ability. Never.
He's third generation Croatian. So
Croatian,
his dad was born in America, and his grandfather was from Croatia. So that's where he's from. But he's just American, which is why he probably doesn't want to be Pulisic. He want to be Pulisic. So yeah, it's weird. Like a lot of Americans that come from with that kind of Croatian or just like the former Yugoslavia, they'll put like, instead of ICH or IC, they'll put like ICH, or they'll change it somehow to where it looks more American, I guess. But yeah, he's already the greatest American footballer of all time. So I don't want to hear anything about, like you say, Clinton Dempsey or Brian McBride or Landon Donovan. I'm just don't.
He already is.
This guy's 21 years old, and he looks like it. Well, well, go ahead.
Well, we don't need to read this out, but people have their views. People have their views. Okay, Alonso.
Oh boy. What can I say about the 2019 Brick Door winner?
Oh yeah, he was a winner. What's the name?
It's the one thing, the major thing that annoys me about Alonso is I can't when I watch most footballers, I can kind of understand what they're doing. So I can understand why a Willian might pass to the overlap instead of cutting inside. I can understand why a midfielder might not pass it back but pass it forward when he tries to break the lines. I can look at the game and kind of understand what he's trying to accomplish. When I watch Alonso, though, I don't understand I don't understand what he's thinking. And it's the most frustrating thing. It'll be like, okay, so the team is up by 2 goals. It's like 90 minutes. All you need to do is basically defend the result. And this guy he's further than the striker, like centrally. I'm like, so how do you get back in the event that Chelsea lose possession? And it was almost like that today. But I can kind of understand if it's 2-2 why he would want to get forward to get the winning goal. But he's in those positions all the time, no matter what. Just one more, because I'll probably forget. There was this thing that he would do. He would underlap Eden Hazard all the time. I'm like, bro, do you realize you're taking a defender into his space? Overlap him and take him away. It's just like I don't understand the man's brain, and it's frustrating because I want to understand, but I just can't.
But you know what it is? This now shows you why, even if you say you don't like him, why Conte is a better manager than Lampard. Obviously, he's more experienced in everything, because this goes back to training. Because when you're in training and you look at everyone, like your first day of training as a new manager, like, okay, boom. Okay, he's good at that. He's not good at that.
They want you to read the super chats, by the way.
Oh yeah, and I know I will. And Conte is really good at. Those are your strengths. Those are your weaknesses. I'm going to maximize your strengths and show the best from you. From Alonso he is not a left back. He is a wing back, and a wing back of very particular, specific skills. So when Conte played 3-4-3, he knew that I know these guys' weakness. I know Alonso's weaknesses. I know what he can do, and I'm going to create a situation where I am just maximizing his strengths.
Right.
He's got a very good eye for goal, and where I want him to be is in attacking positions. And I'm giving him instructions, very limited instructions to create goal scoring opportunities and goal scoring chances. What you're now seeing under Lampard is, if you're now being a left back, so this is now a back four, now being a left back now, more is required from you. There is more for you to actually do.
You have to
because
think
under
more.
Conte, it was because even if you look at Conte's teams, even whether you look at his Italy team, his Juventus team, his thingy team, he doesn't want that much to be done from the players. It's very boom, 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 very set.
Yeah.
But for Lampard, because of it, maybe how he played and everything, he wants everyone to have like a kind of footballing thing, moving the ball around and everything. So with Alonso, because he's very left-footed, as in he even the way that he see Messi is left-footed, Ronaldo's left-footed, but they've got better balance in how they play. Alonso is like he plays like if he's walking, and it's like he his entire weight is on his left foot. So even when he's trying to change direction, because you're so slow and everything is on your left foot, and you don't really have a balance way of going, it looks awkward when he's like, oh, no space, let me go around and let me pass. And he does it so slowly and so awkwardly. The whole momentum of everything is lost. So it's like, when a guy is so useless, you might as well just put Emerson in there until you find a left back. Because this shows you that a left back is needed. Okay, let me just hit this chart real quick. I would rather die than support Arsenal. My God. Knicks will own you in the dugout. United control. Obviously, this is just person. He's a United fan. From Tia Henry. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much.
Is it yellow because she gave like us more money, especially? Or like, why is it yellow?
Oh, no. It's the more thing you give, the different color it is. So what's your, thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the super chats, Madam Tia. What's your opinion on Wolves? They are on the same points as United. You see, this is why things are getting very difficult. You cannot ignore Wolves. You see, people kept ignoring Wolves. See, for me, for Sheffield United, I know that, okay, yes, not good. Wolves, I've always said they're like one of my favorite teams to watch. And Chelsea play Wolves last day of the season. And I already know that game will be meaningful for Chelsea, Wolves, and for United.
You can just go ahead and write down Chelsea L for that game, bro. You can just go ahead and write that down.
So where do you think Wolves finish them? No, because for me,
no. Liverpool, City, probably fifth. Yeah, I would put Leicester in sixth. I feel like they're gonna slide even further. So Wolves in fifth, and I would like them to get that because that means they get probably Champions League football, and they probably deserve it based on the strength of the season. Like if Chelsea and United deserve Champions League, then Wolves are in the same boat. And then they have to play Europa League football this season.
Yeah.
So they were playing on Thursdays and Sundays, and then obviously, the COVID thing happened. But the idea that you go through that gauntlet and you're still in and around Champions League football is a testament to Nuno and those guys. So, and I'd like to see if they get Champions League, who are they capable of getting that they weren't already, if you know what I mean. So like they were already getting, we can get you Moutinho and the Raul Jimenez's of the world and all those kinds of guys. You get Champions League, what is Mendes able to pull off? Maybe something wild, or who knows?
It's missing. And like, first of all, who knows what they can do in the Europa League? That's the first thing. Because for me, I think that there isn't a team that Wolves can't.
Are they still in the Europa League?
I think they are. I mean, guys in the live chat tell us, but I think they're still in the Europa League. I don't remember them getting knocked out.
If they're still in it, then damn. I don't remember.
Yeah. For me, for Wolves, I wouldn't. These guys can come third or fourth. These guys can come third or fourth. I would not be surprised. Like, you see, people still are like United, Chelsea. No, it's United, Chelsea, also Wolves as well. Leicester City look shaky. Wolves seems as if they're still
there. So if they're still there, they can win the Europa League in theory and get Champions League either way. So maybe it'll depend, like, if they're 5 or 7 points back, let's say, with 3 matches to go. Yeah, in theory, we could get in, but I don't know. Maybe it's worth it to. Whoa. See, I'm thinking like the competitions are going on at the same time. You can give your all to the Premier League because you'll have time for the European competitions.
Isn't the Europa and CL in August?
Exactly. So normally when I think about these things, It's the idea of, well, maybe we should put our resources in this competition rather than put our resources in that competition. But I tricked myself because it's COVID. So you can put your all into the Premier League, and then you'll still have time to train for the Europa League or the Champions League in August. So, yeah, I mean, it's more than possible.
So yesterday says, my dad, thank you for the super chat, Mr. Saeed. My dad, my hero, is a Chelsea fan. So is my brother, who's my best friend. Cool. I've got to do a lot of it, but it's okay. Everything will be okay. Talk. But you, LL. Wait, why do I have to be dubbed LL?
Took an L, man.
No, it's like, do I bring this hate and this negativity towards Chelsea? And also, remember, I'm a Chelsea fan. Daniel is a passionate, hardcore Chelsea fan who John Terry is one of your heroes. You say John Terry is one of like your personal idols, heroes? Like you put him in the same level as Toure and something like that? Or
don't lie to the people for cheap laughs. Okay.
Okay, so do you so I believe so basically Ziyech and Werner have officially signed, isn't it? July, yeah. So
I don't know. I saw Havertz rumors. So
yeah, I mean those are still rumors, but nothing like that is concrete. But what we know so basically Ziyech and Werner are officially Chelsea players from now. Do you still believe in Lampard long term? Because this is what's really annoying. Because I want to know where you stand with Lampard, because what he did against City, amazing. Quality, amazing. Congrats. But you now look at this whole West Ham, and I think West Ham beat Chelsea twice this season. Like, did that happen? Did West Ham beat Chelsea twice this season?
Yeah, I think they did.
So, do you still believe in Lampard then?
No. No. Listen, man. My whole thing is I didn't want Lampard because I know by 2023 they're gonna lose to West Brom, as tends to happen, and they're gonna end up sacked. And I don't want to read the Chelsea Twitter tweet. Oh, it is with regret that we have parted ways with club legend Frank Lampard after 4.5 years of service. It's getting bad. Blah blah blah. We wish him luck in his future endeavors. I don't feel like reading that. I don't want to read Frank Lampard has been cut ties with Chelsea Football Club. I don't want to read that. So I've always kind of been against this idea because they threw him in like to fail, essentially, like no transfer window. You're giving him like all these players that we've talked about the whole time, whether it be like Ross Barkley, or I was going to call him Brickley, but that's disrespectful. Ross Barkley, Alonso, like you're giving him like these young players. I'm just like, don't throw him in the deep end, but they've done it. And, I guess this season's gone better than I expected, but obviously I keep my expectations fairly low. I'm still not sure the type of football Chelsea are trying to play. I mean, I suppose it's an attacking brand of football, but I don't see any like definitive style, as it were. Like I don't see a tiki-taka, or I don't see a like a 4-3-3 that's doing anything special. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not going to judge him off this season. Put it that way. I'll judge him when he has the players worthy of judging him. So next season, you get your Ziyech, fine. Now you have your playmaker. You get your Werner. You said we're not finished. We're not clinical in the boxes. Fine, we'll give you one of the most clinical guys in Germany. Now, now what are your excuses?
So God's feeling, do you think that he can be the guy to sort of like take Chelsea back?
Bring Neeks if he wants to come on, let him.
No. Neeks, we'll talk tomorrow. Thursday, we'll talk tomorrow. Not now. We'll talk tomorrow for the Q and Q&A. I don't want to hear any United guys in here. So God's feeling.
What's about what?
Lampard, whether he's the right one to take Chelsea back to money time.
I don't think he's the guy. I think he's the guy before the guy, but I don't think he's the guy. Right? So I think he'll lay a foundation for the club to follow, and he'll bring in all the young players and all that kind of stuff. But if the guy that's going to win Chelsea the Premier League or have them contending in the Champions League, that's not Frank Lampard. It's the guy who comes after Frank Lampard, hopefully. So
from a
That would
boy,
be my assessment.
Bricklock. So Bricklock says, if Wolves get Champions League, where do you rank Nuno? Sorry, HH. Bro,
He's already like top in the Premier League. He's already like top 5. So
if this guy gets Champions League football for Wolves, I'm putting him very high. Very high. Because again, for me, I always say my thing is always degree of difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I love. So to be able to succeed with what you've had at your disposal compared to how much Tottenham have spent, how much they have at their disposal, Chelsea, United, and so forth, and still get that'd be amazing. Hence why what Leicester City were doing before this whole COVID thing was crazy. But now since they've come on, since they've now come on the restarts, bit of a decline. So because I love the way Wolves play. The way they play is amazing, and he's created like a mini Portugal, like his own mini kind of Portugal in the team.
Do you know what? I would like to see him like. Now this is risky, obviously, but if Milan know what they're doing, put him there. And that's like a big if. Like if Milan know what they're doing, that's a whole conversation in and of itself. But I'm trying to think of a league where his tactics would succeed outside of the Premier League, and I think Serie A would be like ideal for the whole 3 at the back thing. And who needs a manager? Inter don't really need one. Juventus don't need one.
Oh.
Maybe a club like Milan could take it.
So guys, Americans or rather Canadians do know their stuff, man. Look at all the. But guys, I told you, like, so Mr. George, we have been doing a podcast since 2016. So if you want to hear this guy's lovely, soothing voice, because he has one of the most soothing voices ever. Like this guy reads like 50 books a day. He's a savant, man. He's like a scholar.
If I read one book in 2 months, that's good.
He reads he reads at least 50 books a day. But if he wants quality analysis featuring myself and him, and sometimes my main man Carlos, talking tactics, Spotify, what's it called? Apple, all our beautiful stuff. And basically you can look at the whole back catalog. I'm so happy you brought back Where the Party at. I'm so happy you brought that back, man. That was a good one. So guys, so maybe the next 10, 15 minutes, questions. Send in questions for us. Send in some questions for me and Mr. Daniel.
Wait. What do you think about my Milan idea? Do you think like that's a good idea, or like would you not want to risk it if you were him, because that's obviously like the Bermuda Triangle of football clubs right now?
I was doing the Q&A last night, and someone said that, what do Milan need? And also he said, okay, do you think Milan can sort of get
Milan need Jesus, if we're being honest, but
no. They need the divine intervention, and
they need Jesus. Allah, Buddha,
so
Zeus, Jupiter.
Yeah, so, if they got Klopp, now this wouldn't happen, but just say if they got Klopp, they gave him carte blanche to his scouting network, money and everything.
Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah.
So the like Liverpool glasses, Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah.
To Milan.
Yeah. That is what Milan. Then I think that's their chance, because I think Klopp is blessed with the divine power of football juju.
That's not happening.
No. I know it's never happening, but if Liverpool are dumb enough to let him go for some kind of weird kind of mafia reason, then but Sanso, that could work. If you can come in, bring in his guys and so forth, because if you look at the managers that they've had, how good have they been? Santo was good at FC Porto. He was good at Valencia. So see?
It's a hell of a downgrade. The more I think of it, the only reason you'd go there is because of the history of the club.
Yeah, no. It's a downgrade
situation than Milan. So never mind. Just forget this whole tangent. Because if you're Nuno, why would you go there? Really? Other than
no. I'll tell you why. It's AC Milan. It's AC Milan. And he is old enough, trust me, he's old enough to know what that club means. And to be like, wow, I was the guy that brought back this great historic club that I grew up idolizing, whether from the Barresis, Van Bastens, George Weahs. That's the thing that people like to do.
They rejected Champions or Europa League football this season. They were like, you know what, that Europa thing, we can't handle it. So the big AC Milan was like, we can't handle Europa League, guys. So we're just gonna drop it.
So your boy Gatler says, "Yo, Donkey Kong. Who is Donkey Kong?
You.
How am I Donkey Kong? Based on what? Being nice. You called me Bricklock. I didn't know because that's your name. Your name is Bricklock, man. So guys, send in cues, man. All right.
Will Tammy still score a brace at the Allianz?
Relax. who will your next phone call be to be put on notice? We'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Nix, I'm not answering any of your questions. I'll see you tomorrow on the dog. I'm not answering any of your questions.
Shout out Nix, bro. You guys have a good show, man. By the way, check out the Football Dugout. That drops also every Monday.
Yeah. Well, just I told you guys, we have the lovely shows, Football Dugouts, every Monday with Nix and all those guys. Even Nix is a bit basically leaks. I call them leaks. Dropping the N on leaks. So guys, keep sending the cues. All right. Can Sarri's current Juventus beat the top teams in Europe like Bayern, City, and more, or are they not good enough? Oh, seriously, by the way, that's the intro clip for the latest episode. Was hilarious. Don't think about before. But you see, this is the beauty about Ogril. So I'm calling August Ogril. That's the new name for August because it all goes down. So see, think about Ogril is that. We don't. That's the excitement. We don't know. Bayern Munich haven't faced a Man City, a Barcelona, or so forth. So guys saying Bayern Munich are one of the favorites, based on what? Who have they faced? So I think when Ogril comes, then we'll really see how good Bayern Munich truly are. We can't judge Bayern Munich by Bundesliga standards because they just did 8 in a row and they're about to do 9 in a row next season because they have Leroy Sané.
So how can we? So we can't judge Juventus by the same logic of because this is 9 in a row.
Yep. Yeah. So that's the thing, man. So I think that that question can't be answered until August comes, because obviously this guy is obviously like a huge Bayern fan. So I've never understood the logic of guys saying Bayern Munich are favorites based on just how well they've done. It makes no sense.
Let's dissect the question. Can Sarri's current Juventus beat?
Oh, yeah. What the hell? I'm drunk.
Can they? Yes, they can. You have Ronaldo, you have Dybala, you have the rest of them. As long as you don't start Buffon.
Yeah.
Then you can.
As long as Buffon
is an entirely different premise. But if the first word here is can, then of course they can.
Because see, as bad as Juventus, as disjointed as they are, you still have a goal scoring freak in Cristiano. And when Dybala decides to show up, he can do amazing things. The issue is how reliant are they on Cristiano? And Dybala just disappears far too many times in these games.
Does Pjanic feature in August?
No, he's going to Barcelona.
No, but is that official already, or
it's pretty official?
Can him and Artur still play?
Wait, sorry, say again.
I'm asking, can Pjanic and Artur still play for their clubs now, or are they gone completely?
Because I think someone said that we are still in the 2019-2020 Champions League season. So
Pjanic can play for Juventus, but right?
That's that's interesting. No, but see, my thing is that
if he can't, that does something to their midfield, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, because our fault is like because that's weird. Is that if you've signed, but you've signed for obviously the next season, does that mean you can still play this season, or you just have to? But no, you've already signed, and just have to remain in that team. So my thing is that I don't think that they can play for their thingy teams. That's my thinking. Because you've already signed the contract. That's you're their player. But also the contract is for the 2020-2021 season.
I'm not sure. I mean, I guess people in the comments will tell us, but
all right, let's
yeah, it said Pjanic played yesterday. So yeah, I guess he can.
All right, so from Jay, but he hasn't signed yet though. So regardless of whether it's feasible, I feel like Jadon Sancho is better than Kai. We need someone to break down the defense on the dribble. Now, this is what I've always said. Now, I may have not have seen much of Kai Havertz, but from what I've seen, I don't think he's as great as people make him out to be. I think the big thing is that a guy so young who's captain of Bayer Leverkusen and their best player, I think that's just sort of the big deal. He's so young and is the main guy. But I've always said that for me, Jadon Sancho is one of my favorite players to watch. And if you have a team where Pulisic on one end, Sancho on another end, and Willian as a number 10, that is extremely dangerous. That would be an extremely dangerous team.
Highlights of Havertz, and they're all like back flick, nutmeg kind of things. And I could see how somebody could look at him. I'm like, oh, he's tall, he has technique, he can do a flare skill move every now and again. But I would actually need to watch games, like some actual footage of him to actually make a determination one way or the other. And I don't think I've watched a complete 90 minutes of Kai Havertz one way or the other. Sancho is an interesting player, but I don't know if anybody should spend that much money on him unless you have some sort of marketing scheme that he can plug right into, because I don't know if he's worth that money just as a footballer. But I guess if you're an English club and you have, this English talent that's the best that's ever been created, if Twitter's accurate, then go for it.
Well, for Chelsea, who would you rather have, Sancho or Havertz?
From what I've seen, like I said, I can't really speak to Kai Havertz, so I'd rather have Sancho because I know I have a better idea of what I'm getting. But I don't know if I'd be willing to spend the 120 million Dortmund are asking for.
Wait. There's a question that I want both of us to answer, but let me just hit the super chat. What is the evolution of the channel in 10 years from now? I don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow.
2030.
No. In the words of John Rambo, I live life day by day. As I said again, I don't want to go into details. In 2010, let's just say that my life was very shaky. So 10 years ago, things were very up and down in my life. So it has been quite a journey for me personally from when I was 2010, when I was about 48 years old, to how I am now, 50 years. Because I swear, I don't really have an age. So 10 years from now, I hope, touch wood, I'm still entertaining you guys and still giving you guys lovely stuff. And Lord knows what the state of football will be in 10 years' time. Now, I want to ask this now. Why would you criticize Lampard for playing Mount when Loftus-Cheek was injured and the other creative central midfielder was Barkley? Do you know a guy called Willian? So please responde, please, sir.
I mean, it's a legitimate critique. I mean, he just sent it again, which is funny. But yeah, I mean, it's a legitimate critique. I mean, if you look at the central midfield options, and you don't have Loftus-Cheek, and Barkley is the only other option in that position, you might look at it and think, well, let's just give Mount the opportunity. I mean, it does make sense in that way. But you could be more creative with the team if you wanted to be, I think. So you could play. I mean, I feel like in preseason he was playing like a 4-4-2 diamond. So like one number 10 with two strikers. And I feel like if you had Willian in that position or Pulisic, who plays number 10 for the United States, so I'm told, because I don't really watch American football like that. Soccer.
Easy, no. Please don't.
Pulisic in that number 10 position with like Giroud and Tammy or Batshuayi if you felt like it. with the two other midfielders being, or three other midfielders, I suppose. You could play Billy Gilmore, you could play N'Golo Kante, you could play, and then pick one. Pick one of Mount, pick one of Barkley. But it doesn't have to be, and Mount wasn't always playing in midfield. This is the thing. He's been playing left wing, right wing. I mean, I guess you could say, are you going to play Pedro? Are you going to play Hudson-Odoi, who was recovering from a Achilles tear? I mean, it is what it is. It's just the idea that why Mount plays a hell of a lot to be so unproven. But if you're Lampard, I guess you see something that you like.
And I mean, look, as I said again, look, you can't have favorites, and you can't have favorites that are a potential liability to your team. Of course, everyone has favorites. We're only human. You can't have favorites that are liability. You must always be able to have objectivity within your management of your team. So you can't be blinded by your relationships they have with players. Oh, he was with me through the academy. Oh, I know him. You see, Zidane is lucky because Benzema is actually very talented. But the thing with Zidane is like, my gosh, this is basically me. This is like a younger me. And I'm sure that they probably come from the same village, the same neighborhood, the same ends. So like, oh wow, this is me. But he's lucky because Benzema is actually very good. So
isn't Benzema from Paris and Zidane's from Marseille? Never mind. But go ahead.
No, but Algeria.
Algeria's big as shit, man.
But it's still the country, Algeria. and look, the way that they have, I bet you they're from the same borough.
They have the same aunties and uncles and stuff like that.
I bet you. Look, the way that they operate, the way I bet you they're from the same borough, 100%. I can bet you that. So, but your dude has to be bigger. That's actually good. So what do you think? So Sané was announced to go to Bayern Munich. What is your opinion?
Good for him to get out of where he didn't want to be. I mean, I wasn't sure that Man City would allow him to leave because it didn't seem like they wanted to let him go. But it's good for him to go where he needs to go. I guess he wants to raise his family in Germany. I guess that's part of his thinking. And I think after you get wasn't he left out of like a big international tournament? Was it the World Cup that he didn't go to?
Yes, it was the World Cup.
Looking at that, like, okay, maybe I just need to go destroy Germany, and you won't have any choice but to play me. Because they're playing Gnabry. I mean, I'm sure at Youth League there was no way that Gnabry and Sané could have been on the same level in German youth football. But now he's ahead of him in the power rankings, as it were. So I guess he's like, yo, let me go to Germany and hopefully that'll be better for me. And Bayern Munich. I mean, who's going to say no to Bayern Munich as a German, especially?
Like I said again,
even those players can't say no.
Too good to be a squad player. Way too good to be a squad player, and like he had to pretty much go to a team that actually appreciates his talents. So a few more questions, and we'll get out of here. 12-3 more, and we're out of here. Will Real lose tomorrow? If they don't, do you think La Liga is over?
Who do they play? Who do they play? Remind me.
Getafe.
They're not losing,
bro. Getafe are like what?
I know. Aren't they like in the top 5-ish or top 4 maybe?
Yeah. I think they're like. I think they're fifth or
sixth. Keeping tabs slightly because they have Kennedy, who's a Chelsea loan player. So I've been keeping slight tabs. But yeah, if they lose tomorrow, will Real lose tomorrow? If they don't, do you think La Liga is over? So basically, if Real Madrid win, is La Liga over? That would make it. What's the gap? If you could remind me of the table.
So basically, it's so Barcelona are 1 point ahead. Real Madrid have a game in hand.
So that would make it 2 points.
No.
Like La Liga, there's always some like twist and turn that happens. I feel like within the last 2-3 games or something like that, where some team will draw against like Sociedad or something like that, and that'll flip it to where now it's like the head-to-head or something like that. So yeah, it's never over until it's actually over, especially with those two clubs. So, but I mean, you can't lose.
So are you? For me, I still believe that Barcelona are going to win that La Liga. So you believe that Real Madrid have it? That it's theirs now.
I think they're like in pole position, but that doesn't mean they'll win. Did you see that Hazard didn't travel with the club? I saw a bunch of tweets like, "Yo, Kim Kardashian isn't traveling with the team," and blah blah blah.
Wait, Kim Kardashian. What do you mean by Kim Kardashian?
Big booty, essentially.
Guys are sick, man.
People are calling Eden Hazard Kim Kardashian, bro.
Okay, this is and then it's your prediction for tomorrow's game, City versus Liverpool. See, because people can say, okay, why don't you do
No. They're saying if Real wins, it's a 4-point lead, so they're already ahead.
What?
Yeah.
No, they're not. Wait, let me bring this up.
You thought Barca was up by a point, but in fact, it's Madrid who are up by a point. So,
okay.
if they get a 4-point lead, then you'd have to lose a game in the last.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, they've only lost 3 times.
Bro, they've only considered 21 Gs.
Zidane, man, gotta give it up.
Wow, they have the exact same. Oh well, goal difference doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's all head to head, and Barca always have the tie break for some.
You know what? I like that. You see, I like that for a league.
Head over goal difference.
No. I like it for a league. I don't like it when they do it in a tournament.
Yeah.
I like it in a league. I'm like, okay, how well did we play against each other when we played each other twice?
I think it should always be head to head as the first tie break. Because if the two teams are tied, then why are we going for
how well we did against other guys? Like, yeah,
just like how did you do against each other? That should give us a better idea. So, and then maybe in those games you could do goal difference. If if you get I don't know how you could do that, but go ahead. What are we doing? Predictions for City Liverpool tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll just be there to see the guard of honor. I think that will be quite funny.
Okay. Let me ask you this:
interactions.
Do you think that Liverpool are really? How concerned are they about breaking the record, or they're like, we've won, let's just cruise control it, and just if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. Or they're like, no, we really want to break this record.
They're not in the Champions League, so they basically have nothing else to play for. So if they're gonna make you come out of your house during a pandemic, we might as well win these games. Because, that's my point.
Okay. Last one, and then we're out of here. Which teams bore you? Mine are Juve and Bayern. Wow, things that bore me. See, the funny thing is that Atletico Madrid used to bore me, but the way they've been playing since the break, they look really good. But when Atletico go all defensive and negative, they can be quite annoying. I'll be real with you. The way Barcelona have been playing is quite boring. Especially if you take Messi away, it's like just pass with no real incision. It's like, okay, like what are you guys doing?
Juventus are pretty boring.
Yeah.
But Sarri's been kind of boring since Napoli. I wonder, I don't know. I guess people have figured him out.
Oh, so you think that his Chelsea were boring? Actually, you know what's
boring?
I'll be real with you. Liverpool have been slightly boring. See, they've just been efficient, but they've not been very entertaining.
They've had fun moments based on the game's 1-1 or somebody's up 1-0 and then they kind of miraculously score, or the Everton game early in the season where the ball bounced on top of the bar and they made it, or whatever it was. Was that this season?
What?
Where Origi scored against Everton. Was that this season or last season?
I think it was this season.
It was this season?
Was it this season?
All of these seasons are together.
I think it might have been this season because it was at Anfield and they played them in the second game I think so. I think it was a season, yeah.
All of these games are running together. Like this season and last season feel like the same thing because of the break. But
Yeah.
yeah, Liverpool haven't played spellbinding football by any stretch. Sorry. Yeah, about boring things when I start yawning. I don't think there's a
All right, so guys, so just remember, guys. So tomorrow, Thursday rather, football dugouts Q&A from 8 p.m. And of course, on Monday, Tuesday we then have our so Monday we have the football dugout thing. But before you go, so since you're here,
Yes.
Daniel, tell the audience, tell the people why they should tune into Talking Tactics, a lot of podcasts that we've been doing since 2016. Keeping in mind that I hate working with people. I'm not a team player, so it means something that I'll actually stuck working with something for 4 years because I'm a lone wolf and I hate working in teams with people because I hate people. People make me sick.
Yeah, we do the Talking Tactics podcast every Tuesday. It's myself, Have Hope. Well, Have Hope. Where am I pointing? This way? That way.
Yeah, that
This
way.
guy. And our friend Carl, who writes for The Athletic whenever he decides to show up. And and yeah, we just talk about football for, I don't know, an hour 30 minutes every week. If you like podcasts, check it out. I mean, it's a fun time. We talk about football, but hopefully from like a perspective that you won't get on like Sky Sports or NBCSN or however you listen to your football. It's more, laid back, and we have a good time. So yeah, and don't let the tactics thing fool you. It just sounds good, but we don't go into tactics like that.
I'm thinking that we should actually change the name.
It's an irony. Like your names Have Hope, and you don't have any. So why should we change from Talking Tactics? Even though
because I think it's true. It is like an ironic thing. But I think look, it's like it is it is the best podcast you'll ever listen to because I think what I like about it is that
see this is the fundamental difference between you and me. You love selling things very high. Like this is the greatest thing you've ever seen, you've ever heard, you'll ever watch. This is the greatest movie, the worst movie of all time, the worst film you've ever seen in your life. For me, I like to sell things like, I don't know, you might like it, you might not like.
No. I'm an extremity. I'm an extremity. Obviously, I speak in absolutes. I'm like a Sith. I'm speaking absolutes. So guys, look, man, thank you very much for joining us in Chelsea. Bro,
Ooh.
I have my questions on Lampard. I have my questions of what this guy can do, but all I say is that Chelsea are still the 2012 champions, and Drogba is still one of the greatest strikers of all time, whether you like it or not. All right, guys, peace out. Peace. Become a Football Hut member and gain access to cool emojis on the live streams and get access to new YouTube content by clicking the join button here. And to view that new content, head over to the YouTube channel homepage and click on the community tab over here.